What's up? What's up? Asmar Wedge. Just wanted to talk about a real important topic. It's me anyway. Um, Basically, I named this video "Blood on the Brain." First thing I think about is accepting it, uh, uh, making the choice to be a boxer, and accepting the consequences of being a boxer. You know, and I believe it's just like riding a bike, motorcycle, or flying an airplane, or in life you take a chance. You know, there's many jobs that you have to work on that's hazardous. These are chances you have to take. Um, Sometimes, but it's not about taking a chance. It's about preparing and learning about what you're working with and being educated about it and doing it to the best of your ability. And you'll find that the statistics is very low on problems or the things that you fear about these jobs. Same with boxing, man. There's very little chances of things happening to your brain if you take certain precautions and if you take serious and get knowledge and practice, and you'll be better for yourself and other people. Boxing is just like any other highly beneficial job or beneficial aspect of life. You get a lot out of it if you put a lot in it. It's not a cheap type of situation where you can put half in and get more. You can't cheat, cut weight. Most people who cut weight, people who don't really understand how to win fights. You know, sometimes being heavier is a disadvantage. It's not about taking advantage of people. It's about taking advantage of an opportunity, and planning for success. Uh, you know, lack of trainers and promoters, ethical people, the lack of ethics in the trainers and promoters. Trainers who, 1 out of every 10 gyms in the city where they're teaching you real fundamental of boxing. You have a city where you got 20 gyms and you only got 2 gyms that's really teaching you fundamental skills. And not just teaching you their desires, what they think, what they feel works, but very little success. Another common misunderstanding and something that need to be addressed is your health in boxing. Like 95% of fighters, professional fighters, only have 1 to 3 fights in their career. Why? Because of the lack of qualified trainers. And they realize that they're not going to be able to continue to do this falling on the ground like that. And the fighters that do make a career out of losing, they don't go in there with sincere hearts. They go in there to lose, but they want to look good as possible. But at the end of the day, their intentions are to lose. However, because of this lack of participation in boxing, um, consistency, they don't have a lot of proof on boxing being dangerous. Believe it or not, they don't have a lot of statistics. They only have a certain few cases that happen all the time that's so crucial that everybody has sympathy for, but they really don't have enough proof to shut down boxing. Rightfully so, and I'm thankful for that because it's very misunderstood. Boxing and taking it serious, and uh, you know, and they say it's a gene called the APOEA, APOEA. They say you should check for this gene. If you have this gene, you have a greater chances of withstanding uh, circumstances or side effects of neurological damage. If some people get hit in the head very few times, have a little damage, and they take it a lot different than other people, according to this gene called the APOEA. Check it out. And you know, I lost my father not long ago from, actual blood on his brain. Performed from a doctor operating on his brain because of a tumor. So, you know, of course, the blood on the brain was the end result, but it still was. So this is dear to me when I talk about this. Also, I lost a good friend up when I was about 18 years old in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was a world champion, Levander Johnson, and it just made me think. Uh, it's not enough conversation about these uh, unprofessional trainers and promoters, unethical promoters and managers. Things that not just about money. You can have the money. It's not the money all the time. It's just unethical how they portray that they know something that they don't know. Because the statistics of what's going on say a whole nother thing. It's not as much damage as people think in boxing, but the little damage that does happen, it happens bad because unresponsible people. It's like in Atlanta, Georgia, driving um, can be pretty safe. It's not really. It's a lot of royal areas out here, so it's not as city-wise as people would think. But the accidents that do happen are crucial. So it makes it looks like that the highways are very dangerous because the few accidents that do happen, they be crucial because the people are not responsible and they're not learned drivers with experience. And there are so many different people from so many different counties and cities that everybody has their own tempo and rhythm. So it just causes crashes. And even the weather get bad here and people crash. Well, I say that to say in boxing, it's really not that bad. But the few that have crashes in boxing, they have them bad. And it makes boxing look very bad. For example, another topic, a current topic, is about headgear. That in the amateurs, in the top amateur level, Olympic style boxing, they're starting to tell you to take the headgear off. And they're saying they had studies that show that the headgear caused more detrimental because, you can't see your your side view vision can't see as well, and you tend to accept punches to the head because you think you're protected, but in reality, that headgear shakes your brain up more than anything. So you get a false sense of protection, and they just say headgear is really not as safe as being threatened to get hit in the face, and you're more alert, more attentive. But the truth is, it's not about your headgear. It's about the fact that trainers are not training these kids how to protect themselves. They don't have defense. They don't have proper offense. They don't have proper composure. They're fighting off of muscles and amino acids and vitamins and energy and brute they just fighting mentally. They're not fighting like they're supposed to fight. They're fighting off of